Welcome to episode 107 of the Rise or Die podcast, Show Your Flaws. So I was cracking up a few minutes ago. I was going to do one of the most profound podcasts I have ever done called Let Go to Grow. And the funny part is that I realized I've already done that podcast twice. It's really awkward because you can only use a title once at a time, right? That's just common sense. And I realized, well, I already fucked that up. A couple days ago, I realized that with the podcast, I went straight from episode 84 to 86. And what really happened was I labeled 84 as 85. I fucked it all up. And I keep screwing up over and over and over with these podcasts. I keep screwing up in a lot of areas of my life, especially obviously in business and bringing content. I'm not new to content creation, but doing a podcast is something I've never done before. Doing a video cast is something I've never done before. So I keep screwing it up. That is okay, and it's okay for you too. And I was being sarcastic with the most profound podcast ever. It was actually going to be really good. But what I realized is that showing flaws, being vulnerable, is what helps you grow. So in 18 months from now, or 24 months from now, heck, even 3 months from now, this podcast will be unrecognizable from what it is even today. And keep in mind, we've only been doing a video podcast now for 3 days. It's a constant evolution, constant improvement. That's just what life is. And if I was to come to you guys and say, I'm crushing it in business, look at a Lamborghini, look at a Ferrari, let me show you something that I am actually not, well, that's, in my opinion, morally and ethically wrong. The right thing to do is to show you guys who I am, flaws and all. Think about 10 years from now. Let's say I have kids, 20 years from now, so that they understand what they're seeing. They go back and they're looking through my old stuff, which is why I'm trying to build a legacy now. They hear my very first podcast, they see the very first video cast, they're probably going to laugh their asses off because they are not the highest quality. But what it is me being vulnerable and transparent and bringing value to everyone that watches these day in and day out without exception. There's a big difference between marketing so that I can sell you shit, and in that case I have to look super professional and like I already have my shit 100% together. But this podcast is not meant to sell anything. It's meant to bring value. It's meant to show you what it means to actually grind. It's here to show you what entrepreneurship really looks like. And guys, if you're getting anything out of this, the moral of the story is entrepreneurship ain't pretty at all. Running a business isn't pretty. Running a marriage isn't pretty. Trying to keep your health up isn't pretty. It's really ugly, especially at first. But you have to eat shit and roll with the punches before you can actually be the all-star that you want to be. So stop hiding your flaws. Show your flaws. Sounds really counterintuitive. Well, people won't like me, but I'm over here in this category. No, show everything. Be vulnerable. People can't relate to something that is perfect because we all know, even subconsciously, perfection doesn't exist. So stop going after trying to be the ideal person that you think others want you to be, and just be you. I went from collared shirts and trying to come off really professional to realizing I did the same podcast twice, almost 3 times, bumming around, just trying to be transparent and vulnerable with you guys. And I encourage you to do the same. When I first got married, I wasn't even vulnerable with my wife. I was trying to be, Mr. Big Shot business guy, killing it in business, trying to impress everyone, and I treated my family like shit. It was a really shitty way of living. There's no sugarcoating it. But I was trying to compensate for what I thought were flaws and things that people wouldn't like. People liked me for who I was when I was okay with myself. And the same thing will go for you too. This isn't just applicable for me, it's 110% applicable for you. So where crossbody being balanced in business, are you maybe not crushing it and you're hiding? How can you be more vulnerable and show people who you really are? People want to get to know you. It's a fact that you need to come to terms with. So where crossbody being balanced in business, are you hiding the real and raw you? That's it for episode 107, Show Your Flaws. Now, as always, if you're getting any value out of any of our content, whether it's the podcast or video cast or even emails, it doesn't really matter. I would love and appreciate a review and a subscribe or follow, whatever medium you're on. In addition, if you want to tag me, my handle is smlowisz on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. I'm happy to personally respond to each and every one of you guys. Give me a few days to do so. And lastly, if you have any questions or specific material that you want me to cover in this podcast, send me an email at Stevens with a PH, at riseordiepodcast.com. Now, I'm signing off for episode 107, but I will see you again tomorrow for episode 108.